The energy is mounting. Almost time for basketball at Barclays Center here in Brooklyn, New York. The Timberwolves taking on the Nets. For Minnesota, the chance to start the year right with a win on the road and give their fans, no matter where they are, something to cheer about. Nets, Timberwolves, the NBA on 2K Sports. Welcome, everybody, to the day we've all been looking forward to. The start of a new NBA season on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. David Aldridge joins us from the sideline. DA, take it away.
Well, if you ask Karl Anthony Towns, his greatest strength is his versatility. He said, "My dad taught it to me at a young age, and it's made my transition at every step of my career comfortable, having the fundamentals and foundation. I don't limit myself. I try to be great at all skills." Kevin?
Yeah, terrific attitude. It makes him very tough to handle. David, thank you. Here's what the Timberwolves have lined up on their schedule. On Friday, they're off to Charlotte to face off with the Hornets. And then on Sunday, they'll face off against Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat.
And looking at the Wizards matchup, there aren't many other meetings that are as evenly matched as this one. Both teams can give and take punches, and this one, I think, is going to come down to the wire.
And checking out Minnesota's opening lineup. Wiggins and Covington fill the wings. Vonleh and Towns, the duo inside. And it's Teague in at the point. And looking at the Nets, they've got Joe Harris. DeAndre Jordan is out there with Durant. Then it's Kyrie Irving. And it's LeVert in at the 3 spot.
And we see the league-wide move discouraging mid-range shots. The Nets definitely among that group.
Yeah, and it's borne out here in that last season they took the 3rd fewest mid-range shots and allowed the 2nd most. So the analytics message taking real strong hold in Brooklyn.
Now here's Covington. Here's Teague. The shot will not fall. Some solid defense there from Irving. Harris against Wiggins. And stolen by Vonleh. Now here's Wiggins, guarded close. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Well, you know, it's not been easy for Andrew Wiggins the last few seasons, guys. The production has just fallen short of expectations. He was the #1 pick back in his draft class and really has struggled to live up to what the fans have expected him to be.
That free throw, no good. And with Wiggins, he's clearly a talented player, Clark, but people just want more from him.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kevin, and a lot of it is a matter of consistency. And when the expectations are high, being a former overall #1 pick, that pressure can affect you. But I think if Wiggins can just lock into being consistent, all of that will subside.
Good on the 2nd free throw. Greg, no secret that many Minnesota fans are questioning the contract they gave to Andrew Wiggins as his development has seemed to plateau.
And with all due respect to Wiggins, it would be worth worrying about if you're a Timberwolves fan. Wiggins has taken a step backwards, I feel, the last few years in his scoring and seemingly has lost the edge to his game that made him such a promising young star.
Now here's Wiggins. Towns with the bucket.
You know, for a guy with Towns' size, I mean, to have this level of body control, tell you what, it's no wonder the contact didn't bother the shot.
First quarter, just over a minute played. And so it's Irving with it, bringing it up for the Nets. It's a 3-point game. Always excited for starting out the new season right, and they find themselves playing against Minnesota.
And they had some trouble with this group a year ago, and it's a bit of a head-scratcher as to why, given the way both teams ended the year.
Well, if you only looked at talent alone, you would have thought they would have avoided a sweep, but that wasn't the case, was it?
Now here's Durant. Drills the 3-pointer.
And that stroke of Durant effortless. I mean, easily pulling up from the perimeter. Textbook form. Beautiful to watch.
Teague against Irving. Teague feeling it out a bit. And it's blocked by Jordan. Here's Harris. Nice shot from 10 feet out.
You know, he's not just a spot-up shooter, guys. Joe Harris can score off the dribble, too.
For Minnesota, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. To the middle, here's Towns. Count that one. Towns has got his second bucket of the night.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Well, this early, they should be showing a lot more energy on defense. It's not there.
Here's Irving after the made shot from Karl Anthony Towns. Pass to Durant. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
And at this point, there simply is no doubt that Kevin Durant is one of the great shooters to ever play the game. The only question is just where on the all-time list will he land when we talk about the unstoppable scorer.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That's good from Durant. And with Durant, perhaps the most amazing part, he can have quiet nights, Greg, of 30-plus points.
Kevin, his scores are just so easy for him that you forget you aren't supposed to see 7-foot sharpshooters doing it. He can score from anywhere in any fashion and can hold his own with any player in history in terms of how unguardable he is. Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
And you know what? They're going to keep using him. I mean, he'll be the centerpiece of their offense today. You can bank on that.
Brooklyn trailing. Passes to LeVert. Kicks it to Jordan. The Nets working the ball around now. And it's Harris off the drive. Goes back up. No good from Jordan. Timberwolves have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. Covington in the corner. Shoots the 3. Jordan with the rebound. Nets have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game. Lobs it up for Jordan, and the dunk by Jordan.
Yeah, you got to respect the athletic reach of Jordan now. Throw it up, and he will bash in the alley-oop.
And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. It's Covington on the wing. Towns, the pass to Teague. And the 3 ball is good.
You know, there isn't a lot of time in between when Teague caught the ball and then when he let it fly. I mean, that was a great example of a quick catch and shoot.
Now here is Harris. Here's Irving. Good. And Harris gets the assist.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
Pass to Covington. Stolen by LeVert. Here's Irving. The putback, and there's Jordan, putting it right back in. Jordan's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Yeah, Jordan is aggressive as a rebounder. He uses his massive body, athleticism, and long arms to wreak havoc on the glass.
Now here's Covington. No points in the game yet for him, and that one's good. Wiggins. Nets have gone 5 of 9 from the field here in the first. Irving finds Durant. Over Towns. KD can't get it to go.
Wow, I'm surprised. I thought that was definitely automatic.
Teague, the pass to Wiggins. Back to Teague. And that one's good. His second basket of 4, shooting 50%.
Excellent penetration from the point guard there. Teague, great quickness getting to the rack.
And so it's Irving with it, bringing it up for the Nets. Trailing by 2, Harris outside. Teague against Irving. Outside Jordan. Fires the three. That one misses. The Timberwolves have gone 6 of 9, shooting it well. Coach is liking what he's seeing from his offense.
And guys, they put the defense on the defensive.
Kept alive. And the pass to Harris. Back to Jordan. 6 on the shot clock. The Nets need to get a shot off here. And it's LeVert missing. Minnesota's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Teague against Irving. Here's Wiggins. And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
Boy, what a strong finisher Wiggins is. Try to get physical with him, and he powers right through you.
And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown so far for the Timberwolves.
They've been making some really nice passes out there. Excellent passing. That could set the tone for the rest of the game.
And also, it's been a positive to watch that they've attacked the paint offensively as well. It's really been about the balance that they've shown.
On opening night, Clark, both teams would love to start off, obviously, on a winning note.
Without question, I mean, setting that winning tone, gaining that confidence that comes from winning, and they all count. Wins today are just as important as wins that you get in March and April.
He kicks it to Napier. Pass to Towns. The shot, no good. Good D by Jordan. It's tipped and stolen by Napier. Pass to Wiggins. Jacks up a three. It's hauled in by Harris. Nets trail by 5. Lobs it up for Jordan, and the dunk by Jordan.
Yeah, you know what? Dinwiddie is very dependable at serving his teammates on the court. Seems like a natural leader.
Napier feeling it out a bit. Dishes to Towns. Over Jordan. And it's blocked by Jordan. Shoots it up. The putback. It's good on the putback.
And those are exactly the kinds of plays that can spark a team. Just solid work down in the paint.
Inside. Here's Wiggins. And it's off the back rim. No good. For Brooklyn, they've gotten 7 of their first 16 field goal attempts to go down here in the first. Here's Irving. Pass to Harris. Clock at 6. To the paint. Outside for Durant. The three. Rebound by Jang.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Back to Wiggins. And there's the pass to Napier. Here's Jang. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass.
Hey, get that weak stuff out of here. Take it home. Jordan is fantastic at rejecting those kinds of shots.
Now Wiggins after the missed 3 from KD.
Yet another player from the 2019 draft class who wasn't a top high school recruit. Jarrett Culver, 3-star guy, thin, unrefined, but in that sophomore year of college, boy, did he surprise some folks.
And he makes the first. And Greg, when you talk about Culver, the one thing he did show in high school and again showed at Texas Tech, the ability to score.
Yeah, and he creates and makes shots against great defenders. Every team in the NBA is looking for that. His jumper, his handle, his ability to move without the ball, already NBA level stuff.
And so he makes both from the line.
And Culver's game just screams potential. Already a good scorer, rebounder, and passer. Now the next step, improving that outside shot.
And Jarrett Culver gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Irving with the ball. Pass to Dinwiddie. Rebound, Minnesota.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
Yeah, the half and half balls are going their way, and that's really a function of effort and intensity. You know, the ball doesn't discriminate. Whoever goes and gets it, that's who owns it.
Here's Chandler. That one doesn't go. So Minnesota will take it the other way. Here's Lehman. Bell trying to break loose. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot two here.
And one thing the Wolves have done well over the past few seasons, taking care of the ball.
Yeah, you know, they squeeze it well. Low turnovers can be a double-edged sword, though. If you don't make many mistakes, maybe you're not being aggressive enough.
The Timberwolves have shot 80% from the line tonight, going 4 of 5 so far. First free throw is good. Clark, it seems that guards are rebounding now more than ever. What do you make of that trend?
You know what, Kevin? I think it's a function of how the game is played. More and more teams play small ball, where they really don't have a big guy out there or a traditional center out there. You may have guards and wings, and oftentimes your tallest guy might be 6'8". So it makes it important for guards and everybody to rebound the ball. So I think you see more guards getting more rebounds because of teams playing small ball as a function of the three-point shot's importance in the game.
Now here's Dinwiddie. He's still scoreless so far in this one. Bell with the block. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Prince with the defensive effort.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
Well, dangerous on the fast break. Spencer Dinwiddie, so fast and gets up and down quickly.
Now here's Culver. Dinwiddie covering. Jang with a clean look. Allen with the rebound.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
Irving with the bounce pass. And the rejection by Jang.
And this is something you'd like to see more of from Jang, given his size and wingspan.
And here we can check out the story on Kyrie Irving. Last season, he played outstanding. 11th in assists, 13th in steals, and he ranked in the top 15 in points per game, one of the league's premier offensive threats.
And he was the consummate playmaker last season. Completely unselfish. Always had his head up, looking for the open man. That free throw, no good.
And, you know, even though in today's game floor spacing is all the rage, the last 5 years the Wolves attempted the fewest threes in the league. And when they did shoot them, they didn't make very many of them.
And he's good on the second. And on top of their troubles from range, the Wolves have also had trouble on the defensive glass.
Yeah, and if you can't rebound and you're not shooting it well, you've got to figure out who you're going to be. Your identity is in question. That's what the Wolves are trying to figure out. Who are we? What do we do well? How do we win? How do we succeed? To get to the next level, they've got to answer that question.
And the shot goes in.
Yeah, the easy hoop assisted by Allen that time. He's developed a nice passing game.
Now here's Napier, covered by Irving. Back to Napier. Trying to get open is Jang. And the basket by Napier. And the Timberwolves lead by 3.
And those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten here in the first half.
And so it's Irving. He brings it up for the Brooklyn Nets. Baseline J on the way. Misses off the left iron. Minnesota's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Here's Jang, and the layup's good off the glass. And it's a 5-point Timberwolves lead.
If you're guarding Jang, you know he doesn't mind being challenged. I mean, he's able to convert through physical play. As a matter of fact, the rougher it is, I think the more he likes it.
It's the Nets now, following the bucket by the Timberwolves. Irving finds Dinwiddie. Now here's Allen. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Boy, I covered Jared Allen in college, and you look at the physical profile he's got. 7.5-foot wingspan, big hands, explosive, really good athlete. He's got all the tools and an upside without limits.
Shooting 2.
That free throw good from Allen.
Boy, a stalwart defender who knows his strengths on offense. I mean, Allen is a fantastic two-way threat, and he wants to get better. This is a guy whose future is bright.
And he can't hit the second. Timberwolves leading by 4. And stolen by Prince. The Nets have made 2 and missed 2 at the line tonight. The first free throw is good. Teague is checked in for Culver. And both free throws good for Prince. .30 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Teague with the ball. He's picked up by Irving. No good from Bell.
And Kevin, they need to be consistent with their effort on the boards. You look at the box score, and they're at a definite disadvantage.
And, you know, time will tell how big a factor that becomes in this game, guys, but if you're the coaching staff, it's certainly a point of emphasis.
Outside Teague. Back to Napier. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Timberwolves lead by 2. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Brooklyn. One of the most high-powered scorers in the game, Karl Anthony Towns, knows it's important to keep his teammates involved.
You know, everyone has to get some of the sugar, you know, so making sure you're not just being a ball hog. So I'm just always trying to make sure that I'm taking wide open shots that I think everyone in the team would love for me to take if I have the opportunity. But also at the end of the day, making sure everyone gets a chance to be in the candy shop.
Well, when you're attracting, Greg, all that defensive attention, it creates opportunities for your teammates.
And Towns wants to win big. To do that, though, it's not enough to get numbers. You've got to make your teammates better as well.
And it's been a pretty even game here after 1 quarter of play. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Timberwolves?
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you look at the energy, the effort defensively, they put it all out there in that opening quarter.
On the court for the Timberwolves as our second quarter is underway. Gorgie Dang is out there with Bell. Then there's Shabazz Napier. Then there's Teague. And it's Layman in at the 3, the small forward.
Shooting 2.
And the first one at the line is good. The mid-range jump shot, you've talked about this a lot, is still valuable if you can hit it with consistency.
Yeah, and if it's a quality shot, Kevin, I think you should shoot it. Move the defense, move the ball to get a quality shot, and I think one of the very best at knocking down the mid-range jump shot, Kevin Durant clearly. But how about Chris Middleton? Elite mid-range jump shooter, and DeMar DeRozan as well has a strong mid-range game too.
And a great track record in the draft for the Nets. Karis LeVert selected with the 20th pick, and Jared Allen taken at 22.
And you might want to throw in guys too. Rodion Kurucs, the 40th pick in 2018, had a big impact, even participated in the Rising Stars Challenge. And, you know, sometimes you got to make your own breaks, make your own good fortune, and that's exactly what the Nets have done.
Now here's Irving. Out left to the wing, pulls up from the corner. Rebound by Jang. Jang's got 6 rebounds in the game. The shot. Layman gets the bucket. And the Timberwolves lead by 2. Second quarter of basketball, about 1 minute played so far. Irving kicks to Dinwiddie. Back to Irving. Shot clock at 6. Bell with the block. Now here's Napier. Tight defense on him. Dinwiddie with some nice D. And even 3-on-3 break. And the Nets miss again. To the left side wing. Here's Layman. Takes a 3. Dinwiddie with the rebound. On its way from Irving for 2. Another miss by Irving. And so it's Teague with it. He'll bring it up for the Timberwolves. Only giving up 2 points this quarter. That one drops for him.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high percentage looks from inside.
And even under pressure in close, I think they've still done a good job maintaining concentration and converting the opportunities.
There's Dinwiddie after the basket by Minnesota. And there it is for him. Dinwiddie's got 5 now.
I can't find an excuse for letting Dinwiddie get this positioning inside. I mean, once he has it, you're toast.
Teague, the pass to Jang, kicks it to Bell. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. That one on Chandler. And when you think of Jordan Bell, you think of a do-it-all big man.
Specifically how strong he is on defense. Great timing for blocking shots, good hands, and can guard anybody out on the floor. Can finish plays as well when moving at the hoop.
He misses the free throw.
You know, for a team like the Nets, building without top picks, player development becomes critical. I mean, the Nets have made that a key focus for their franchise, and you can see the results paying dividends now.
The Nets making a switch here. LeVert's checked in. Timberwolves also changing it up. Vonleh comes in for Gorgie Dang. And Robert Covington subbed in for Shabazz Napier. Now here's Chandler. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Kurucs. And they're unable to get the tying basket there. Clark, you were talking about the Nets player development. Guys like Spencer Dinwiddie and Joe Harris were signed as free agents.
Yeah, and you know, guys, a coaching staff dedicated to taking them to the next level in terms of improvement and player development, the investment they make in their top-notch training facility, all of that focus paying off for them.
Now here's LeVert. No good. That would have tied it.
You know, sometimes making it difficult for him to finish at the rim is all you can ask for from the defense.
Now Teague. He has 5. That one's all good. Now he's 3 for 5 from the field.
How about the delicate touch from Teague? I mean, guiding these floaters in well past the defense. That's an art, folks.
The Nets trail by 4. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
Beyond the leaning, you could see his feet weren't set on that screen. Easy call.
Yeah, I agree. You know, sometimes that can be a tough call for the refs to make, but not that time. It was easy there.
Kevin Durant, he's checked in for the Nets. And then for Minnesota, Karl Anthony Towns checked in for Bell. And Wiggins is subbed in for Lehman. Teague finds Towns.
And you look at how Towns is so effective on offense. And it's because he really has the entire package for a big man. Back to the basket, facing up, playing outside or in, off the bounce or on the catch. This guy can do it all.
And he knocks down the first one.
Boy, despite his youth, I love the attitude Towns has because it's infectious and he seems to have the attributes of a genuine leader.
Good on both.
Making it look effortless. Send this guy to the stripe. He's going to cash in more than not.
Here now is Dinwiddie. He's got 5. The shot by KD. No good. And Greg, as you said, it's the skill level of Towns at his young age that is so incredible.
Very capable 3-ball shooter, but he likes backing you down on the block as well. You step back and look at what he can do for a team, and there aren't really any holes in his game.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Kenny Atkinson, who's a native of Long Island, now has his dream job, coaching the Brooklyn Nets. He doesn't need praise or recognition. Instead, he's fueled by the fear of failure. He says, I always feel like I'm one banana peel away from never being in the NBA again. And Kevin, he's got his team playing with that same determination.
David, he sure does. Thank you very much. Now, here's LeVert. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Tremendous versatility for Karis LeVert, offensively, Clark, and defensively. He can play multiple positions.
Well, I like that about him too, Kevin. 6'7", he's a gifted scorer, can make plays when the ball is in his hands. The Nets have a number of ball handlers, and that's what Coach Kenny Atkinson believes in. To get a lot of guys that can make plays and do it for each other and together, and we've got something good.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the free throw drops for LeVert. And Clark, your love for the Buckeye State has never been questioned. What was the best part of growing up as a kid in Ohio?
Well, I think a number of things. One, having family around, extended family as well as immediate family, but also the sports love that exists throughout the state and being able to experience that and enjoy that with my dad and siblings. That's special. And having a career in basketball that I've had makes it even more special.
And DeAndre Jordan throws it down.
Boy, LeVert's showing you his unselfishness there. I mean, if you're open, he loves getting you the ball.
It's Covington on the wing. On the wing, Wiggins. Trying to find Towns. Gets it to him. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's going to be on DeAndre Jordan. Last season, it seemed like Towns recommitted himself on the defensive end after facing some pretty significant criticism in that department.
You know, he looked like he was playing with a chip on his shoulder defensively. Towns has always had the capability to be a fantastic defender, and I'm really glad that he's focusing on that part of his game as an area to improve.
The free throw drops for Towns.
And you think about the two best talents in Wolves history, KG, obviously, and probably Big Cat.
I would not disagree. I mean, KG is a Hall of Famer. And the Cat, Karl Anthony Towns, has been terrific early in his career. The rebounding and scoring, the versatility at that size between those two guys. Well, it could have possibly been like the Admiral and Tim Duncan. Well, maybe not quite that good, but really good.
Now here's Dinwiddie. He's got 5. Right side, Kevin Durant. Now here's Dinwiddie. And the 6'6" point guard, Spencer Dinwiddie. Second-round pick of the Detroit Pistons in 2014. You know, Greg, they might have wished they held on to him.
One of the most improved players in our league. Last season, he signed that 4-year, $48 million extension from the Nets, rewarding his growth.
Shooting 2.
The free throw drops for Dinwiddie.
How about the year Spencer Dinwiddie was having last season? He was a candidate for most improved and sixth man of the year, then ended up tearing ligaments in his thumb, which cost him a month. But I still think he had a breakout season and more to come.
So he gets them both.
You know, before becoming the 38th pick in the 2014 NBA draft, Dinwiddie played 3 really good years of collegiate basketball at Colorado.
Culver passes to Vonleh. To the inside, a reverse, and there's the nice layup by Culver. Culver's got 5. And Clark, you were talking about the injuries for Dinwiddie going into the 2014 draft. A torn ACL caused his drafting stock to slip.
I loved him in college, Kevin. At Colorado, I thought he was outstanding, and he actually had been talked about as a lottery pick. He ended up falling to the 2nd round, and he's showing you he was worthy of being a lottery pick back when he was drafted.
Here's KD following the score by Jarrett Culver. Out that one in, and the Timberwolves lead is cut to just 5 points in the basket from Durant. The Timberwolves have gone 6 of 11 from the floor, over 50% shooting here in the second quarter. Now here's Covington. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Culver passes to Towns. Covington in the corner, just 5 to shoot. And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here. And let's see what the Nets have coming up. They'll host the New York Knicks. Then on Sunday, they'll be taking on Jonas Valanciunas and the Memphis Grizzlies.
And for the matchup with the Pacers, it's not going to be a picnic, but they know heading in, it's a game you got to get excited for as a player. It can be a big statement taking down one of the top teams in the East. And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
And you know what, guys? That will pump him up because he takes a ton of pride in what he does on defense.
And a quick check of the stats for Dinwiddie. Some last season stats for him. Averaged 17 points a game, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds. And you talk about guys who just have a nose for putting up points. He is one of them.
Yeah, he sure is, and he rarely has back-to-back bad games. If he has an off night, he usually follows that up with a big night.
First one falls for him.
And a great front office in Brooklyn. General manager Sean Marks taking over in 2016, and he just signed an extension.
And you know, guys, that San Antonio tree has some great branches on it all over the league, and he's one of them. I mean, he's been a player, a coach, has worked in the front office. Marks understands all sides of the basketball business.
So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses.
And I'll tell you who I feel for. The Wolves fans. 1 playoff appearance in the last 15 years.
Yeah, and you know, they've had some exciting talent in Minnesota, guys, but they've done very little winning with that talent. I think the good news, though, when you want to spin it positively, they still have that talent, and a lot of the talent is young.
It's the Nets now. 8-point game. Next up for them, the Knicks coming out here to play. That'll be the latter half of this 2-game homestand. Lets it go with a three. That's a bucket. His third of the game. He shot the ball 7 times.
And now he's taken a solid opening in the quarter and built on it here in the second.
Culver with it. Harris is there. Culver's shot is off. Brooklyn's gotten into trouble with the 3-ball in the second quarter. Only hitting 1 of 5 attempts. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Culver's got the ball. Covington wide open. He fires. Offline with his 3. Prince with it. Culver covering. The wide open look for Durant. That 3 off the mark.
You know, after making 1 3 in the first quarter, he's had none here so far in the second.
Passes it to Vonleh. Wiggins kicks to Covington. Timberwolves passing it around. Here's Towns. Down it goes. That's 4 made from the field. He's 4 of 8.
Defense is there, but Towns doesn't care. He just rises up over it.
Nets trail by 7. Harris with it. He dishes it to Dinwiddie. Ball's knocked loose and stolen by Vonleh. Culver dishes to Vonleh. And no good. Great D that time from Durant. And stolen by Wiggins. On up the court. And the dunk by Vonleh.
Staying alert and aware. Wiggins sees his man flash to an open spot. Pass is right on the money.
And it's Dinwiddie with the ball. Bringing it up now for Brooklyn. They trail by 9 points. Pass to Harris. Three-pointer. It's rebounded by Towns. Towns has got 6 rebounds here tonight. Culver passes to Covington.
And you gotta love the mindset of Robert Covington when he plays defense. He's so active with his hands and feet, rarely gets fooled on any up fakes or jab steps.
First trip to the line for him here.
Yeah, 76% from the line a season ago, and most would consider that to be a success.
The first one falls.
Man, you got to love the intensity of Covington. I mean, he's a consistent shooter from beyond the arc, and he's a player that also isn't afraid to get dirty on the glass for rebounds. That's a nice combination, nice stroke, but still he'll do some dirty work too.
Irving's checked in for Spencer Dinwiddie. Corky Dang's checked in for Minnesota. Shabazz Napier comes in for Wiggins.
And guys, you have to be able to knock down your free throws. Struggling with that this quarter. Good way to let your opponent back in the game.
You know, it's easy to see why, Greg. Covington has been named to first-team all-defense in the past.
The team is noticeably different when his defensive presence is missing. I mean, rare to find a perimeter player who is as good as him, both on and off the ball.
And the first one drops. Jake Layman's checked in for the Timberwolves. He's off on the second. And a 4-year player at Baylor, Taurean Prince, something of a surprise lottery pick back in 2016. But, Greg, he's become a very valuable player.
You know, he's one of those two-way power wings that it seems every team wants. A dependable three-point marksman who holds his own defensively.
Minnesota leading by 6. The pass to Towns. Out to the wing. Fires from deep. And that's collected by DeAndre Jordan. And for Brooklyn, they're shooting a pretty cool 37% from the floor in the second. Not what they're looking for.
Not sure why he keeps trying his luck from deep here. It's just not his night.
Now here's Napier. It's good from long range. Napier's got 5 points so far.
That's a nice play, getting the separation he needs for a clean look.
And you look at him, he's given up an awful lot of size in that matchup, so he needs to have the ability to create separation.
And even after the Achilles tear for Durant in the 2019 finals, he got a huge contract after he opted out.
Most teams felt they were willing to pay him while he rehabbed for a year. That was the case as the Nets gave him a 4-year max money deal. His next chapter is underway as he changed his number to 7.
The Nets making a switch here. Chandler's checked in. Bell is checked in for Minnesota.
Boy, I tell you, I don't know if there's anybody better than Kyrie Irving close to the basket. He has a great feel for how to score inside.
6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Back to Napier. To the right side. Culver passes to Bell. 6 on the shot clock. Beyond the arc. Culver's shot is off. Harris outside. And here's Prince outside. And the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him. And so it's Minnesota with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thank you. Andrew, the energy and effort were apparent throughout that first half. How were you able to do it?
We had a good practice, working hard, really putting things together. Keep doing that and come out with a W.
Hey, thanks for your time. We appreciate it. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. We've reached halftime of our first regular season game.
I'm swimming.
I thought you thought maybe the first half was going swimmingly. Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet. Shaquille. First half was all about Karl Anthony Towns. He had 12 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 block. And Kenny, what did you see out there from the Timberwolves?
Well, there was a big spark from the bench in the first half. Sometimes you're hoping for your reserves to come in and just hold court, but they didn't do that. They actually got better.
And over to the big fella, your thoughts on the Nets?
I was surprised at some of the recklessness. They were scattered, sloppy ball handling, just too many turnovers. It gets back to fundamentals. Forget the highlight reel pass. Make the effective one. Simple bounce pass. John Wooden taught us that in 40, 30, 50, whenever he was coaching. Just play under control. Simple ball, dude.
And that wraps up the halftime show. Third quarter set to begin in just a few.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. And what can you say? Towns, an impressive effort here.
And he's shown just how adept he can be at creating contact and then cashing in at the line.
Well, in that first half, it was a common occurrence. He got to the stripe time and time again.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. We've got DeAndre Jordan, LeVert out there with Durant, then there's Harris, and it's Irving at the point guard. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. And with that shot, the Timberwolves lead is cut down to 3 on the bucket from Harris.
This is where Harris is most dangerous, one of the very best from behind the arc. His eyes light up when he gets these long-distance chances.
Now here's Teague. Covington finds Wiggins. A shot off that time. Some solid defense from Harris.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
I certainly do. I like to see guys do their work inside. Their rebounding has been excellent, and that's always important in a close game.
Here's Jordan, and the rejection by Towns.
A tremendous shot blocker in college, Kevin. Towns has packed that part of his game and brought it with him to the next level.
Harris against Wiggins. Covington passes to Vonleh. The tray. Here's Towns. Back to Vonleh. Outside Covington. Pass to Vonleh. Tries again. Rebound Brooklyn. Durant's got 6 rebounds in the game.
They have yet to hit a shot. A real slow start here in the second half.
And the rejection by Towns. Covington against Irving. From 10 feet out. The shot's good. And the Timberwolves lead by 5.
There it is, the first basket of the half after missing their first 3 attempts.
Passes it to Durant. Off target with his 3.
It's almost like he's trying to make things hard on himself. You know, he's just got to slow the game down, try to get some easy ones.
He gets a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Oh, guys, one of the things that the NBA has been forward thinking about is always accepting new ideas. And they've got a bunch of them on the table in recent weeks. A mid-season tournament, a postseason play-in tournament, maybe even reducing the 82-game regular season schedule. Now, all of these would be very bold moves, but Commissioner Adam Silver has always demonstrated a willingness to think outside the box. Kevin?
PA, great assessment. Good report. Thank you so much. And Covington sends it back. And Teague, here we go. Brooklyn with the rebound. Right around 3 minutes into the second half.
And the young Timberwolves head coach, Ryan Saunders, son of former Minnesota coach Flip Saunders, about as great of a pedigree you could ask for as a young coach.
Well, guys, you've heard me talk about the DNA when it relates to players. It's the same with coaches. I mean, Ryan has grown up seeing his dad coach at a high level, the late Flip Saunders, one of our favorites in the business. He spent his whole life around basketball, so he has a great way with players and a real good understanding of the game, to a modern-day approach for a young coach.
The Nets making a switch here. Allen's checked in.
And the mid-range shot of Irving is impressive. He has wonderful form with that shot.
Teague drives in, and it's slammed in by Teague.
Just the kind of play they need in a game this close.
You know, that's the kind of aggression they want from their floor leader.
And it just forces the defense to pay more attention to him, guys, which we know can open up things for others.
Now, here is Irving. He's got 11. Nice concentration to hit the double clutch layup. Irving's got 4 this quarter.
It looked like that was going to be blocked, but then he pulled the Houdini act and flipped it in for the score.
Pass to Towns. He scores his 5th field goal. He's taken 9 shots to get those 5.
Beasting and feasting from this area. Towns utilizing all his length and size to burn the defense there.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn. Karl-Anthony Towns with a strong contribution so far in this one.
You know, that defense is helpless right now. I mean, he's got their number, and he knows it.
Rodions Kurucs, he's checked in for Brooklyn.
And checking out the stats for Covington, good season for him last year. He put up about 13 points a game last season, just over 2 steals and 5 rebounds.
The contributions he's been making on the floor have been a boon for this team. Great stretch of games for him.
Yeah, you know, they've given him more responsibility, and he's responded. And the way he's going, I think his role is only going to increase.
Wiggins kicks to Teague. Towns dishes to Teague. Brooklyn with the rebound. Allen's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Here's LeVert. Yes, and it's Irving picking up the assist. Irving's got his 3rd assist on the night.
LeVert's athleticism on full display as he makes great effort in the fast break.
Now here's Teague. He's got 9. Outside Covington. Back to Towns. Stolen by Durant. Here's the 3. He can't get that one, and it's the Timberwolves taking it the other way. They'll be off to Charlotte for a game against the Hornets. That'll be the second of this 2-game road trip.
That's exactly how you win a rebound battle. Get good position and then use your strength to hold on to that position.
Allen left side. And then Allen slams it in.
Well, you see the hustle from Allen there, guys, and his relentlessness and the mindset to keep at it really allows him to gobble up those offensive boards.
Now here's Teague. Down low. It's deflected. Towns, 6 for 10 with that shot going in. That's a good game for a lot of guys.
They didn't have much of a problem getting the ball into the post that time.
Here's LeVert. Outside Irving. There's the pass to Durant. Clock at 6. And yes, it's good. Durant's got the lead up to 3 now for Brooklyn.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout. Well, a lot of rough times for Irving in his final year with the Celtics. Opted out, and obviously Greg wanted a change.
And quickly zeroed in on Brooklyn as a destination. His time in Boston had clearly come to an end by the finale of last season. Now joins up with a new stacked team in Brooklyn.
Looking at who's out there now for the Nets. Wilson Chandler's checked in for Durant, and Spencer Dinwiddie subbed in for LeVert. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Towns kicks to Culver. Shot clock at 5. Here's Lehman. Towns trying to get open. That is good. And the Nets lead is cut down to 1 on the bucket from Lehman.
Gorgie Jang doing a nice job getting the ball to the open teammate there. Nicely done.
Pass to Irving. Here's Karuch. Fires the 3. It's rebounded by Towns. Towns has got rebound number 11 for him here tonight. Here's Culver. Lays it up and banks it in. Culver's got 11 points.
I'll tell you, Culver has an array of moves once he gets into the paint.
Brooklyn's gone into a slump here from 3-point range, shooting just 1 of 5 here in the third. Passes it to Irving. Count it! And he'll have a chance for a 3-point play. That one is on Towns. In a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for the Nets.
They keep piling up the assists, and they haven't cooled off at all.
They haven't wasted time getting the ball up the court tonight either, and it's resulted in a lot of fast break points.
Prince is checked in for Brooklyn. That's good from Irving.
A career best season for Kyrie Irving in 2018-19. Scoring just as great as ever, but it was the other areas, playmaking, rebounding, defense, where he made tremendous strides.
Now here's Towns. 16 points for him. Jang the pass to Culver. 6 to shoot. Minnesota needs to get off a shot here, and Jang gets it to go.
Kevin, a big guy with an emerging skill set. Jang ruling the paint there. Nice play.
Now Dinwiddie. And the Celtics expected Kyrie to become a better passer and defender in Boston.
They felt he had the capability. You could argue that those improvements have elevated him from a great scorer to a great player in our league.
And here's Napier. He'll bring it up for Minnesota. Pass to Towns to the inside. And it's sent back by Allen.
Don't challenge him. Get that out of here. Allen's almost 7 feet now. He's got excellent timing and good bounce.
Now here's Culver. Dinwiddie covering. And the officials will call the illegal screen right there.
Now let's check out a breakdown looking at some stats for Jared Allen. A very nice season for him last year. 8th in field goal percentage and a top 15 ranking in blocks per game, supplying that backline protection that is so key to a great defense.
And you know, back to his tremendous efficiency shooting last season, top 10 in the league, his dead-eye shooting creates so many opportunities for that offense.
One made three for him for the game. Does he focus closer in? Let's see.
Napier kicks to Lehman. Over Chandler. That one off the back iron and out.
Usually, guys, he's going to knock that one down from there. Proficient at operating in that medium range area.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Bell's checked in. That's out of bounds. Brooklyn will retain possession. And now, here's the 2K leaderboard with the teams that last season scored the most second chance points in the NBA. In the third spot, the Timberwolves.
This was a team that was really savvy when it came to getting position under the boards and then getting those offensive putbacks.
Now, here's Dinwiddie. 10 points for him. Now the pass to Irving. And the Nets miss again. The Timberwolves trail. And here's Napier. He feeds it to Bell. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It goes on Taurean Prince.
And Bell is on a mission to show how special he can be. An athletic, energetic forward who plays with a real passion.
And this is his second trip to the line in the game.
And you know, you'll take what he can give you from the free throw line. Looking at his numbers, just really not one of his strengths. Shooting in the low 60s last season.
You know, yeah, guys, last year was a rough one for him at the stripe. I mean, it's going to be hard for him not to improve on those numbers. They were that bad.
And he can't get the first one. And the second free throw, good. The Nets with the lead. Wound up there for Allen. The shot, no good.
Yeah, and that was lining up to be a huge alley-oop, but they just couldn't quite connect.
And you know, guys, always a tough catch on the lob. Placement and timing have to be close to perfect.
And there's the call on Kyrie Irving. That's foul number 2 for him. DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Allen. For the lead, here's Napier. Hits the three-point bomb. Napier's got 8 points.
How about the recognition from Culver? Terrific at realizing when the defense has broken down.
And slam dunk by Jordan.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
Minnesota's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Jordan against Jang. Back to Napier. And Bell kicks to Lehman. Timberwolves passing it around. Here's Jang. Rebounded by the Nets.
Boy, that's a good player missing from point-blank range. That's one you got to convert.
Here's Chandler. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And the aggressiveness of Chandler. When he gets good inside position, he goes up strong to get the call.
This is his first free throw of the game. First one falls for him.
Hey, grit and grind are words that fit Chandler. because that's what he brings to his team, that sandpaper edge and toughness, a guy who doesn't give an inch and is always fighting.
And both free throws good for Wilson Chandler. 1:22 left in the third quarter of the game. Now here's Napier. 8 points for him. And it's blocked by Jordan. And so the ball out of bounds. Jordan touched it last. The Nets making a switch here. Harris is checked in. 1:09 left in the third quarter. And that one misses from Lehman.
And if you ask me what percentage of the time he's making that shot, my answer would be in the single digits.
Well, you can't be forcing a shot like that. You got to keep the ball moving. Get something better.
The first one falls.
We're still waiting for that first miss from the line this half.
100% since halftime? Come on now. I'm not sure this lead's going away anytime soon with that kind of marksmanship.
Both good from the line that time. Timberwolves trail by 4. There's 57 seconds left to play in the third. To the left wing. Here's Culver. Jordan with the rebound. Jordan's got his 18th rebound here tonight, all over the place. Prince finds Dinwiddie, and he gets it to go. Dinwiddie's got the lead up to 6 now for Brooklyn.
You know, guys, I like the way Dinwiddie uses his body and strength. I mean, he doesn't have a problem overcoming physical defense.
To the wing on the left. Jang dishes to Culver. Over Harris. A nice shot by Culver. Culver's got 13.
And for me, guys, this is an area that Culver should utilize more often, showing off that incredible feel with the jumper.
Now here is Harris. Napier covering. Harris with it. Got it! Got it! What a shot!
Wow, what a way to finish up the quarter.
That's an impossible shot, man, even when you don't have the clock to worry about.
What a performance for Kyrie Irving. He has been the story for the Brooklyn Nets. What a quarter that saw them generate a great comeback effort and are now out in front with momentum behind them. And now we have a moment to reveal our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
For me, next to the big-time alley-oops and monster throwdowns, passes like that are probably the next best thing when it comes to sweet-looking NBA highlights.
Fourth quarter of action is upon us. Thanks, as always, for joining us. Timberwolves trail by 7, and so in the game for the Timberwolves, we've got Shabazz Napier. Bell is out there with Jang. Then it's Culver, and it's Lehman in at the 3 spot. Chalk up 2 there. And for Brooklyn, they're shooting just 39% from the field, struggling to find that net. On the wing, Harris. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
And he might not be a household name just yet, but Joe Harris is one of the game's true dead-eye marksmen. You can make the case he's the most underrated shooter in the league.
That's good from Harris. Maybe not the most famous beard in the league, but Joe Harris's beard last year, Greg, drawing some notice in the NBA.
The lumberjack look belying his feathery touch. Good size and strength, enabling him to play the small forward position when needed.
KD's checked in for Taurean Prince. And Teague, here we go. Here's Jang. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. Teague's got 4 assists in the game.
Soft touch on that jumper, guys. I mean, this is where Jang can be dangerous. Facing up from mid-range can put a lot of pressure on the defense.
Left side Durant. Lobs it up for Jordan. And the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
And they hold a huge advantage on the backboard.
Greg, and that's been the key to this league. I mean, they've really dominated the glass.
Karis LeVert's checked in for the Nets. Timberwolves also changing it up. Noah Vonleh comes in for Bell, and Wiggins is subbed in for Napier.
And after spending his first NBA decade with the Clippers, DeAndre Jordan bounced around last season. Remains a supreme athlete and rebounder, though, at that center position.
Here's Jang, and he uses the glass on the layup. Jang's got 4 points in the quarter.
Wiggins showing you, Kevin, that he's much more than a scorer because he's really starting to understand how to set others up.
Nets leading by 6. Dinwiddie surveying the floor. And it's off from three-point range. And a nightly double-double threat is DeAndre Jordan, but some dissatisfaction with his play last season. Greg, what was that?
Well, I felt like his impact has tailed off just a bit from his peak with the Clippers. Sometimes the great athletes have more of an adjustment as they enter their 30s.
And so it's Brooklyn with it. Dinwiddie outside. Pass to LeVert. Sinks that one from the post. And the Nets lead by 6.
Boy, the versatility of LeVert showing you he's got a lot of tricks up his sleeve and a bunch of shots to choose from, too.
Now, here's Culver. Not a lot of room. Teague drives in, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. It goes on Spencer Dinwiddie.
Well, you look at Jeff Teague, and his game does not have a lot of flash, but his handles, those are rush hour caliber. This guy has that ball on a string, folks.
And with Teague, Clark doesn't do anything flashy, but the stats do add up.
Yeah, he's very steady and quiet, understated. But you watch him out there, and he's a competitor now. Before last year, Teague had made the playoffs 9 straight years in a row, and that doesn't happen by accident.
Robert Covington's checked in for Culver. Teague, the pass to Vonleh. Looking for Jang. He gets it there. Great D that time from Jordan.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And you know what? He's not going to give up an easy finish at the rim. I mean, that's just against his constitution.
And that one, good. 15 points for KD.
And how about the body control by Durant? Takes the hit, but able to adjust. Yet another thing that makes him special.
And Teague, here we go. Make it 5 for 10 with him in that bucket.
And you want him taking big shots for you in big moments. That one was as easy as it gets.
Well, you don't want to give him any open shots at this stage. Never mind a layup. Come on now. My goodness.
KD kicks to Dinwiddie. Pass to LeVert. There's the dish to Jordan. 5 on the clock. Here's Harris. Jordan trying to free himself up. Wiggins with the rebound. And so it's Wiggins with it. He'll bring it up for Minnesota. Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. And the dunk by Vonleh.
Good to see a player going all out when the game's this tight.
You know, G.A., he knows what his job is. Control the offensive glass.
You know, that time I thought he did it with authority. Tremendous putback at a time when they really need it.
Lobs it up for Jordan. Oh, good on that one.
Yeah, and that was lining up to be a huge alley-oop, but they just couldn't quite connect.
And you know, guys, always a tough catch on the lob. Placement and timing have to be close to perfect.
Oh, and he went for the two-hander on the slam using some muscle.
Some urgency from him there, sure.
I get the feeling, guys, that he may be sensing that this is a critical time in this game.
Dinwiddie outside. Pass to KD. And the layup falls. KD's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Yeah, you look at the way Kevin Durant releases it so high, makes it hard to block, which is why he's such an efficient inside scorer.
Wiggins finds Covington. That misses, had a chance to tie it there. Nets leading by 3. Here's Dinwiddie. The pass to LeVert. Jordan trying to free himself up, and it's LeVert missing.
You know, even though they're on top in this one, you'd like him to be better out there because he's capable of being better. It sure would make things a lot easier, too.
Here's Vonleh. Count it.
And the D not really doing its job there. A little slow to react to the ball getting into the paint.
Brooklyn's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Harris dishes to Dinwiddie. Good for another field goal. Number 5 in the night. 5 for 10 shooting.
Dinwiddie showing you his craftiness in the pick and roll sets, and you can see how he's grown in attacking those.
Teague against Durant. To the middle. Here's Vonleh. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. That's now 8 points for Noah Vonleh.
Yeah, that's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
Dinwiddie against Teague. Dinwiddie outside. Unloads from 13. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Jang's got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Wiggins, and out of bounds as Brooklyn gains possession. Brooklyn making some changes. Allen comes in for DeAndre Jordan. And Irving subbed in for Spencer Dinwiddie. And the Timberwolves also making a change. Karl-Anthony Towns checked in for Gorgui Dieng. Irving looking for an opening. Pass to Harris. Back to Irving. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Over Teague. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him.
And he's done this so much that we almost take Kyrie for granted. Let's take tonight to appreciate what a special player he is.
And the Timberwolves call time here. And during this timeout, I'm sure they'll be hydrating themselves with Gatorade. All the effort out there on the floor, and these timeouts can be such a huge factor in getting a short rest and recharging the battery. And now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, DeAndre Jordan.
And he's had more dunks in this game than you can count. The D has looked like they're just standing still. He keeps blowing by him and finishing with that highlight reel material.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, I was able to listen in on what Ryan Saunders told his team. He knows they struggled at the free throw line, but he actually looked at the positive. He said, if we continue to get to the foul line, good things are going to happen. But we have to keep getting there. Maybe that'll take the heat off him a little.
You know, even though they have the lead, you can tell he's frustrated with himself that he's not doing more.
Nobody near Irving. And that one goes long. Timberwolves trail by 3. Wiggins passes to Towns. Back to Wiggins. Over Harris. The Timberwolves again can't hit. Brooklyn's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. Irving can't get it to go. Minnesota shooting pretty well at 46% from the floor. Stolen by LeVert. Lobbed up there for KD. The shot misses.
I mean, that can happen to anyone, but it's ugly every time it does.
Yeah, it is unfortunate, embarrassing. He just lost his concentration for a split second, and that's all it took.
Attacking in transition, the most consistent way to generate easy looks.
Yep, exactly. And if there's any opportunity for early offense, you've got to push it and push it every time.
It's Covington on the wing. LeVert defending. Teague drives in, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. It's on Kevin Durant. And last year, a tough one for Jeff Teague. Just couldn't put together his normal level of play.
You know, Teague missed some games with injury, but his shot just wasn't consistent. His passing and playmaking were as strong as ever, but you just couldn't rely on him to score.
The Nets making a switch here. Jordan's checked in. And so Teague gets 2 free throws.
And Teague is a little reserved, but he's a natural leader, a guy who commands respect, I think, on both ends of the floor.
And the call will be against Jeff Teague. That's foul number 2 for him. Left side, Harris. And the foul on Andrew Wiggins. That's his first foul. LeVert with a wide open look. No good on the quick 3. Timberwolves trail by 3. And now the Timberwolves on the break. The Timberwolves again can't hit. Nets shooting around 37% in the fourth quarter. The minutes starting to wear on them. The last season for sure, Greg, a bit of a journey for DeAndre Jordan as he went from the Mavericks to the Knicks before his free agency. Now he is a part of Brooklyn.
And both KD and Kyrie took pay cuts to get Jordan on board. Still a factor with his size and defense despite a lackluster year in 2019. Nets are hoping he can find his magic and be a force once again.
Towns down low. KD's on him. Kevin Durant with the rebound. Durant's got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Three-pointer, LeVert. Minnesota with the rebound. Towns has got rebound number 13 with that last one. Kyrie Irving with the rebound. Irving's got his 5th rebound in this one.
He's been ice cold tonight. And, you know, you look at the scoreboard, guys, they really could have used his contribution.
Jordan finds LeVert. Lobs it up for Jordan, and the dunk by Jordan.
And he pulls off the Houdini to make that catch and slam it through.
Stupendous alley-oop.
And the crowd got their jaws dropped on that one. Total disbelief.
That is good. And the Nets' lead is cut down now to just 4 in the basket from Teague. Teague against Irving. Now Kevin Durant. Just 5 on the clock. Passes it to Jordan. Over Vonleh. But he stays with it. No good on the fadeaway. And Teague's got the ball here for Minnesota. And there's the call on Kyrie Irving. That's his 3rd foul of the game. To the paint. Here's Wiggins. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Teague's got his 6th assist on the night.
And Kevin, that could be an important bucket as this game tightens up. I mean, Wiggins looking sure of himself out there.
Durant kicks to Irving. Oh, good on the triple.
And you know what? If you're the defense, you got him right where you want him. Let him keep shooting those threes because he's been brutal in this half.
Man, I like the steadiness and assurance of Teague in these situations. I mean, he's a legitimate threat to score at any time in the game.
Net shooting has been a little ragged, just 38% from the field. 1:30 left in the fourth quarter. Durant. Let's keep it alive.
And that's a nice job on the offensive glass there. That'll let them work the clock even more.
Harris has been in these situations before. He's a veteran player and very calm taking the big shots.
And here's Vonleh. A three-pointer. Wiggins. Some solid defense from Harris. For 3, Durant. He can't get it to go. And Minnesota will come the other way. Here's Wiggins. He kicks to Towns. Back to Wiggins. Over Durant. And it's Wiggins missing. Guys, they're holding on to the slimmest of leads.
Yeah, and you can't afford to let that thing get any slimmer.
Covington against Irving. The offensive rebound. Longley, the pass to Towns. And that's going to be a travel.
Boy, in a game this snug, you can ill afford to commit those kinds of turnovers.
Spencer Dinwiddie's checked in for Kyrie Irving. Now a timeout called by Brooklyn. They're in front by 3. We've got 33 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Inside, we've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock.
Stepping up and capitalizing in a big way at a critical time. Spencer Dinwiddie doing work.
Count it! What a beautiful shot to bring them to within 3.
And, you know, when the game is close, guys, Jeff Teague has shown and demonstrated he's got the clutch DNA.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn. They're leading by 3. We've got 22 seconds left in the fourth quarter. We've got 22 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And an intentional foul there stops the clock.
Honestly, just doing what they have to in order to get the basketball back.
That's a good foul, though. I like that. I mean, clock management crucial at this time of the game.
He hits the first one, and that gives them a 4-point cushion.
And the versatility of Durant, off the charts. Shoots, rebounds, defends. He's the total package.
And so he drops them both. It's a 5-point game.
And I don't need to tell you guys, those free throws are big. 2-possession game now.
And the Timberwolves call time here. They're trailing by 5. There's 21 seconds left in the fourth. Guys, what do you think?
Trying to stay alive, they've got to work quickly.
They're going to draw up a play here, I think, to get a shot right off of the inbounds pass and not waste too much time at all.
Covington's shot is off.
And if you ask me what percentage of the time he's making that shot, my answer would be in the single digits.
Well, you can't be forcing a shot like that. You got to keep the ball moving. Get something better.
Second one is good. Getting both at the line, and it's a 7-point game.
And that will add to a healthy lead after that trip to the free throw line.
And the Timberwolves call time here. They're down by 7. 15 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. .15 seconds left in the fourth quarter. For 3, Okogie. Brooklyn with the rebound. Here's Temple. And so it's Brooklyn with the win. Probably a little closer than they would have liked it, but a win nonetheless.
Yeah, but I really got a sense that the fans gave them that emotional boost that was needed down the stretch. This crowd, man, they were electric.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. With Kyrie Irving, it's early in the season, so what's the most important thing to getting off on the right foot?
Great days of practice, honestly, and being prepared. Always communicating and trusting each other. That's going to be the biggest word for us this year is trust. Like I said, consistency and trust.
We will see. It's a long season if you can get that done, Kyrie. Thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. That concludes the first game of the NBA season. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. See you next time.